I have a very exciting new product from Stetsom, the Bravo Bass Flex Impedance Amplifier. This is the 3000 watt amplifier I'm going to be doing a review on today. Unbox, give you a full rundown, find out how much power it puts out on my system, and get some subwoofer flex in this. So all the details are in the description if you want to know more about this amplifier. There's a lot of things I'm going to be showing you in this video, so you got to stay tuned to the end. Really excited to see how this thing does in my system and how much power it puts out. So really fascinating to see that the minimum impedance is 0.5 ohm, aka half ohm, up to 2 ohm, and it puts out right around the same power between half ohm and 2 ohm. And we'll be finding out when I test it today on my system at 1 ohm. Really small footprint space. My hand is pretty much the size of the amplifier. All the details, I recommend checking out the description after you watch this video so you can kind of see everything about the amplifier. And be sure to subscribe for daily car audio videos coming your way every day. So it has a protection and clip light indicator on the top of the amplifier with the impedance adjustment from Smart Flex technology from Stetsom with automatic impedance system from half ohm to 2 ohm. Really nice, quiet, and efficient silent fans for efficiency to keep the amplifier cool. And the ground and remote inputs can handle up to 4-aught wire. I use 0-gauge wire when it worked great for this amplifier test, and I'm pretty excited to see how much power this thing puts out. So we'll go ahead and look on the other side of the amplifier for the crossover settings. They have a single input and an output on this amplifier for RCA, so that means you're able to run multiple amplifiers without having to use an RCA distribution block, as well as the standard crossovers every amplifier would come with, the subsonic LPF, and then your bass boost frequency adjustment if you choose to use that. Be sure to hit the like button. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. They did have an extra little protective coating over the speaker inputs as well. So these speaker inputs, or as I should say outputs, if depending on how you look at it, can handle up to 7-aught. Of course, I'm not going to be removing the back panel because I don't want to void the warranty for this new amplifier. So looking at the manual real quick, it looks like the amplifier rating is at 14.4 volts, anywhere from half ohm to 2 ohm. 1 ohm, right at 1.2 ohm, will give you the most power, rated at 3,500 watts RMS actually, so pretty impressive. So now I'm going to go ahead and test it out on my system and see how it does. So I got the amplifier inside of my vehicle. I got it hooked up with the input for RCAs. I went ahead and used a splitter, Y splitter for the RCAs, and I got my power ground installed as well as my turn-on wire. I'll install the speakers after I tune my amp. So I'm going to go ahead and tune my amplifier now, set the crossovers and the level. Level I'll do last. I'll set that with a clip protection mode. Right here, it'll help me identify when the level is set for that. My crossover, I like to put around a 1/4 octave below my subwoofer box enclosure tuning, which for me is around 20 to 22 hertz, so I'll just eyeball it around 20 hertz range. For the LPF low pass filter, I like to set around 80 to 100 hertz, so I'll set it around 11 o'clock. Most all amplifiers I set around the 11 to 12 o'clock mark. Bass boost and frequency of boost, I always keep that down all the way or off because I want to keep my signal as clean as possible and not boost any frequencies, so that will be off. So let me go ahead and set my gain. Alright, so I'm going to do first turn on. Connect the blue turn-on wire. I've got a DD1 as well as the clip meter for setting my gain volume level on the amplifier when I tune this gain now. So let's go ahead and do turn on real quick. Alright, so the amplifier turned on good. We'll go ahead and turn on the DD1 and we'll go ahead and set the gain using, well, the volume base level on here. The gain is the same word term. We'll be using the clipping signal at 40 hertz detect to find out the clipping monitor here, as well as on the DD1 at the same time. So let me go ahead and use my USB, set it to -5 dB, 40 hertz. I'll be clipping it, setting it tuned to volume 30 out of 35 on my Kenwood. Alright, so I've got the 40 hertz detect on. We'll slowly turn it up, creep it up till it finds a clip point, and then shut it off or turn it down slightly. There we go. Distortion again, just barely on. There we go. Just barely flickering. My gain is set. So I noticed the clip didn't pop up on here, but the distortion's picking up on the DD1 first. So I'm just going to go ahead and trust the DD1. Oh, it is clipping just slightly. All right, my level is set. This is my system for this year in 2023. I'm going to be testing the amplifier on It's a single 18 in a 5-to-1 ratio, 4th order. I went ahead and put the link in the description for my video and playlist for all of the build updates for this. Let's go ahead and get back to the amplifier test. So let's go ahead and check the actual impedance ohm of this subwoofer mounted to it. It should be right around the 0.8 ohm mark once it loads in. 0.8 to 1 ohm. There you go. Meter's going to be tested on the glass. We'll find out the SPL score. Alright, so I've got the clamp meter measuring amperage, my multimeter measuring voltage, and then my SPL meter I showed you on the glass here is going to be measuring the SPL score when I do my peak frequency burp to find out how much power this Bravo 3K is, the Bravo Flex bass amp. There's my wires hooked up directly to the speaker at 1 ohm as I showed you earlier. So here we go. We'll see how much power this puts out. This is a real world test. If you multiply these two numbers and divide these two numbers, we'll give you your impedance ohm change rise as well as the actual RMS power test. Usually the efficiency isn't 100%, around 80 to 90%, but it will give me a perspective of kind of how much power this amplifier is putting out. And we'll show you some subwoofer flex action from this subwoofer amplifier. So here we go. All right, I've got the amplifier and vehicle on. We're going to be measuring it now. Here we go. Going to be actually a song, not a burp SPL test. So I'm going to be doing an actual 42 hertz bass track. I'll be sure to put that bass track in the description too if you want to see it. I use it a lot, and we'll see a real world number. Here we go. Turn it up 2 more clicks. I see it flickering, but not full tilt. Let's do a full tilt. Put it up 2 more clicks and got a little bit louder. So right at a 54 plus at 42 hertz on the glass. And I'll be putting results now with these 2 numbers with the highest number I saw. And pretty impressive, over a 54 on this single 3000 on my single cell box. And that was on the glass right here. So I went ahead and calculated out everything off camera. I wanted to kind of see how it looked as far as the results when I reviewed the video that I just showed y'all live. Right at 35 amps and 87 volts, which gave me a little over 3000 watts, and that was at 2.5 ohm. So if it was right at 2 ohm, it'd probably be right around the 34 to 3500 watt range based off of these numbers. And if you put an 80% efficiency factor to that, it's right at the rated power. So the amplifier is doing really good. And this is the flex impedance 0.5 to 2 ohm. So it puts out the same amount of power between that range with, of course, 1 to 1.2 ohm, putting out the most at 3500 watts RMS. If I had tested this at a half ohm mark, it probably would have put out a little bit more power after rise right at the 1 to 1.2 ohm, which is right where I'm rising to with a 2x rise. You also have to consider I had a little bit of voltage dropping into the mid 13 volt range, so a whole volt less and still putting out overrated power, so really impressive. So anybody considering an amplifier where they want to run at half ohm or 1 ohm mark and get the same amount of power out of your amplifier, this is probably going to be a really good option for you. I would not recommend running this thing at quarter ohm. So anybody that's wanting to run dangerously, do not run this amplifier at 0.25. Anywhere from 0.5 to 2 ohm to get the best bang for your buck at this amplifier. And you got to stay tuned. I'm sure they're going to be bringing out the 5,000, 8,000, maybe even 12,000 in upcoming months or years. I don't know. We will see. I enjoyed watching me test out this Bravo Bass Flex from Stetsom. Everybody, thank y'all for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Stay tuned for more videos. And good job, Stetsom, with a new amplifier running at half ohm to 2 ohm with the same power. Impressive results.